the Sir Harry Oak Chateau, now known as the Museum of Northern History, a building with a fascinating story. Sir Harry Oakes came to the Kirkland Lake area in 1911, virtually penniless, and then, following his gold discoveries with the tough oaks and lakeshore mines, bought a home in 1919 or 1920, which was partially destroyed in 1929 and then rebuilt in its current location and expanded to its current size today. After that, it was referred to as the Chateau. The first floor housed Harry Oakes' mining office, which is now the gift shop. The floor also included the kitchen, the dining area, a large billiards room, and a room for the housekeeper. The second floor was the family's main living space. The finishes on the second floor are much more elaborate, with higher ceilings, stone fireplaces, and intricate plasterwork in the music room and the Oakes' private rooms. The third floor contained the attic, which was mostly used as a children's play area, but was occasionally used as a ballroom for large house parties. Today, the third floor has been converted to archival space for the museum. Following the moving of the Oakes family to Niagara Falls and later to the Bahamas, the Chateau became a guest house for the Lakeshore Mine until its closure in 1965. In 1967, the building was retrofitted to accommodate a nursing home. Minor changes were made to the interior to bring it up to modern code requirement, but the exterior saw major changes. The building was stuccoed and all the windows were replaced with more traditional double-hung wood frames. The nursing home continued to operate out of the Chateau until 1976. Most notably, the drive-through garage, which had been the basement, became workspace and bathrooms were installed for the elderly. Also, potentially living space. There were no elevators in this building from 1967 to 1974, and the only stairs that led to the basement at the time would not have allowed elderly people to go down them safely. There are rumors that nursing home residents were housed in the basement, which is likely true due to the location of a walk-in shower with bars in the basement. Although it would not be up to today's standards, the standards were much different in the late 1960s and early 70s. Although staff maintain that it doesn't seem to be haunted, it remains a question that tourists often ask them. It's an old house, sure. It's a fascinating glimpse into a life of wealth that the gold mines of Kirkland Lake brought to a lucky few.
So my name is Caitlin Mackay. I'm the museum supervisor at the Museum of Northern History.
Cool. And have you heard any stories or have any stories of your own?
So I think with any old building, there's always going to be some people coming up with interesting stories that try to explain weird noises and strange things happening in the building. So I've been here long enough that I've heard stories from different people coming through, of course, former staff members and things like that. So I know there was one. We used to have a very old boiler system heating, and it was very loud. And I'd always warn new employees that when you're working alone in the winter, it's very different than the summer because of the noise that you're going to hear. So it was a very different experience to be here in the winter because of the sound. So it almost sounded like in those old movies where you have someone with a metal can on the jail bar doors, and it would sound like that in the basement. So it was very unnerving for people a lot of
dark.
times.
Was it those?
Downstairs is not.
Yeah, it's not accessible to them. I think we will need some lights.
No, the windows are.
What?
Did they do, is this architecture original or is
No, the central part here, they had that upper floor, that third floor, which was used as the children's playroom, and then as
I already asked that.
yes, we were friends, and then it was also used as a ballroom. But right now it's archives up there, so this part though is still original. This was the music room. Let's see if I can get the...
Just leave it and turn it back on. That's karaoke.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. And that's Sir Harry Oakes. That's who built this house.
Here at the time.
Right. Do you know if there are any patient rooms on the second floor or just...
The second floor, yes. So up in the music room area, they had blocked off a wall kind of in the center to make it a space that was more for like the invalids, the people who couldn't move around as easily.
So like a ward?
A
type
ward,
thing?
more or less.
Okay.
And then Nancy's bedroom upstairs, I'm told, was also used, but they had covered the walls at one point. So that's one of the reasons they're in such great shape, is that they were kind of protected.
Oh, okay.
But the second floor is mainly the patient rooms upstairs. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so she should have unlocked the one right in front of you, which is the bathroom. And you might want to turn on the lights, I don't know.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't? It did yesterday.
Unless I'm switching the wrong switch. Is there a switch out there? The master switch?
Possibly. No.
No, turn that back on.
Oh, okay, sorry.
No.
Why is she here?
I don't know if you're talking about me or about the lady downstairs, but I'm here just to film and to see if we can come to some type of conclusion about whether there's any haunting here or any presence here, anything residual.
So this is not publicly accessible. This is
No.
used to be the bathroom for Harry Oakes' bedroom.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm assuming that was the tub.
Yes, and apparently the tub is still in under there. But what I find the most funny is this part here used to be the alcove for the toilet, and it's somebody's little desk. So I think it's funny that you have to work in a little alcove that had a toilet.
Is it the phone? It might be the phone. Yeah, I think it was the phone. So far it's been rather random. There's no pattern, there's no routine to what's coming through or spiking.
Okay. So this is Sir Harry Oakes' bedroom. It's terrifying.
This is terrible.
You can turn the light on
It's shade. The weird shade doesn't help.
if the light works.
No.
Okay. Well, I don't know.
Move it.
Move it?
Dangerous.
Dangerous.
What's dangerous?
I don't know, but the door's gonna kind of close behind us, so that's just what's gonna happen.
So, I think we should come back here.
Yeah.
If and when it opens, and if there's people here, because I'd like to.
Are you scared?
No, not really.
Not particularly.
Is that a mess kit?
It's RCMP.
Oh, okay. And then you might want to try that door over there. I don't know if she unlocked it for us or not. She probably didn't, but... Oh, maybe, okay. So that should be access to Eunice's bedroom. Yeah, normally that wasn't... I don't think that was originally the way that was, but... Oh, a mannequin.
Goddamn mannequins.
So she survived her husband. This is a much smaller room. But yeah, all the Hockey Heritage North stuff is in here, which...
Did she remarry?
I don't know. I'll have to look that up and research afterwards and put it in under this to say. So anyway. Any spikes in here? No?
No, it's quiet in here.
So mostly just in this room in
We
here.
got something in his room.
Okay, do you want to go back?
Again, the tragic history mostly surrounds Harry Oakes, so the conspiracies and such.
And I mean, we
How
have
do
to...
you feel?
I feel fine. I'm just trying to not to trip on things or boot precious antiquaries.
This
What does that mean again?
that means there's something moving through the field.
Interesting.
But you also touched it with your hand. So.
I did. You could excuse it for that. It's funny that it does a thing off the hook when it does.
Goodbye.
Okay, you're leaving now? All right.
We can go somewhere else.
I
Or
think-
you're going to come back. If that makes you upset, that's fine. I
Yeah,
don't
we'll
care.
come back with the lights on and see if that's any different. We're gonna go downstairs now.
But we've also heard some stories from the nursing home era, and obviously we know that people did pass away in the building because it was a nursing home. They had a temporary morgue in the basement where they would, store bodies until they were, carried off-site kind of thing. So we get asked, that's probably one of the questions we get asked more often, is if Harry Oakes haunts this building. And I always say, well, if anyone's going to haunt it, you wouldn't think it would be Harry Oakes who made money here. You think it would be someone that maybe passed away in the building or had something to do with the mine, passed away in an accident, that kind of thing. But knowing that it was a nursing home, it does give you a little bit of a different perspective for sure.
Do you know if the nursing home occupied all 3 floors?
I've heard yes. I can't say for certain because we don't have like a map or a blueprint of that, but I know for a fact that they operated on the 2nd floor. I don't know.
Are you coming in here?
I'm not sure.
The lights are on now.
What? Oh, when they turned the main lights on, this came on?
But just make sure to close the door behind you. So here it is with the lights on, Sir Harry Oakes' bedroom. And you can see it's just filled with stuff right now. It's not being used as a regular place.
Miss.
What was that?
Who's Miss? Miss who? Harry, we're in your bedroom.
Or Eunice.
Dislike.
That's good. You don't like us in your bedroom. Do you come back here or do you stay in the Bahamas?
Or in Niagara Falls.
Your home's awfully quiet. Are your children here? What are your children's names?
Grandmother.
No. Try again.
Is it somebody's grandmother that's here?
So I know there was one employee on staff who said that for some reason, 3 or 4 times a book just went flying off of a desk we have on display upstairs. So they put the book back up and then it would just fall off again. So you could explain it as maybe the floor's slanted, but the floors slant this way, not this way. So there's no reason for the book to kind of go flying off the shelf. So that was an interesting one that they told us. Another being that...
Anything on the EMF?
I know every once in a while I'm getting just like one bump.
This is Sir Harry Oakes' desk. And have any guests ever mentioned anything to you? Any stories of a creepy or spooky nature?
I've had 2
Okay.
guests. One was probably an older woman around my age, 65. She swears that the place is haunted and that she actually saw something
Okay.
here.
What did she claim she saw?
a person, but she wasn't specific as to what kind of person.
Okay. Where did she?
Upstairs.
Okay.
Because she wouldn't have been allowed in the basement anyway.
Right.
So it would have been upstairs in one of the bedrooms, possibly Nancy's bedroom.
Okay.
So she doesn't like to come here at night at all.
Right.
And the other one was a former employee.
Okay.
I'm not sure if he was here as a student or just as a young person, and he swears things were moved
Okay.
in Nancy's bedroom.
Okay.
That they were there at the end of the day, and when he came back the next day, it was in a different place.
This is the area here I find, over here, this is the area I find the most kind of unsettling. I find just around this corner and then into that room. I don't know.
What we want.
It is what you want. I see.
You want to make people uncomfortable.
Yeah. That's an interesting response.
Oh, okay, this is the room when I saw it, I didn't see these.
Yeah, so this is Nancy's room. That was Sir Harry Oak's daughter. And it is set up with furniture that she owned that was in here at the time. So her bed tables, her dresser.
Also, it's rumored
Her school
that
desk.
her husband is suspected of murdering.
Was that downstairs? Where did that sound come from?
I'm getting a spike.
Screen.
Yeah, there's a screen. It's over there.
So, and then there's toys in here that are from the 30s.
There was an energy source that just came through.
Okay.
That's what that beeping was.
Oh, interesting. This is also supposedly the room that a figure was seen in by somebody, and it was they reported it to the lady who works here.
The app just restarted itself for some reason.
That's interesting too. That's never happened before.
So that was an interesting one that they told us. Another being that we had an employee, a cleaner way back when, who actually quit in the middle of a shift because she got very spooked while working alone on the second floor. We actually have a Ouija board in our collection that was on display in Nancy's bedroom upstairs, and this individual was cleaning upstairs and just kept hearing strange noises and felt like there was someone upstairs with her, and she got very spooked and just literally ran out of the building and quit in the middle of her shift, which is, I think, unique.
Okay.
So this has been renovated for public events.
This, I believe, yeah, for public events, and it's been like probably in the last 20 years, I imagine.
Looks pretty new.
Yeah. This though is the room.
You're welcome.
This here is the room that the man who Sir Harry Oakes allowed to stay in here once in a while, kind of a guy who is hard of luck and stuff, and he stayed in here. They don't have a record of it or anything. It's been told to people over time.
So there was, right now I can't think of his name, I'll have to send that to you later. But there was a gentleman who was an early prospector in the Kirkland Lake community at the same time Harry Oakes was. They befriended each other, and Harry had a lot more success with his prospecting and later mining endeavors than this individual did. So sometimes when he would fall on hard luck and he didn't have a place to stay, Harry would allow him to stay in one of the rooms in the basement of the Chateau.
And how frequently do you think that happened? It just over the years, on and off?
I'm not quite sure. It's not really written down anywhere. It's not really like in any of our history books or anything.
Okay.
It's just information that's been picked up over the years.
Been told to people over time. The room is extremely claustrophobic. I don't know if it was one of the rooms during the nursing home time or not.
Not likely. Not if it was right next to the door.
Who knows?
This is strange.
What is strange? People don't talk to you regularly?
I think there is a light. Yeah.
No light. There's windows.
Oh, okay. Anyway, he knew them. He knew the man as a prospector when they were both prospectors, and he let him stay here. So we don't know anything else about him. We don't know the name of the guy.
They don't know if it really happened.
Yeah. But that's one of the tales, and then the other tales are that people were housed down here during.
And then we were told that at one point they might have had patient rooms in the basement, which I personally find quite disturbing. But
Well, you can see most of the changes have been made in the basement, right? Because I mean, like a lot of that looks like 30 plus years down there.
well, in the basement was originally just a garage, right? It was a drive-through garage through the basement, so it was a large open concept space.
Yeah.
And then they had, laundry and facilities and things like that down there. But then over time, with the repurposing of the building, they wanted to use that space a bit more, so they would have made some changes to the garage space for sure.
Okay.
And we know that the temporary morgue was down there. We know they added a washroom down there with, a more functional, like I think walk-in shower space for
Yeah,
the
we saw
clientele at the
that.
time. So yeah,
Which, I mean, there was no elevator here at the time, right?
no.
So you would have had people down there definitely, because there's no way. That's ye old bathroom. See, now I think because of the tile on the floor, like that tile's very common in like the 60s and 70s.
Also
So I think this is common.
that enamel tile.
Is there a shower in here?
There would have been right here.
Because that's what makes me. It's definite that it was used for people.
Yeah, because look, there's grab bars.
Yeah. So this would have
So it
been
would have been that's like a senior shower.
for the nursing home. Which, again, is a little bit freaky when you know that they're housed in a basement.
Because there's a bow dressing. It's from the 50s.
Ye old drugs.
Where did the...
I don't know. Out of an old church of some kind.
Captain Obvious.
Well,
Thank
I mean,
you.
they're not labeled down here. I don't know.
Oh, hold on.
Neil.
That's weird. That is so weird. So it tells him to kneel when he's in front of one of the candle lighting stations that they usually have for saying a prayer or something for a person, usually in a Catholic or an Anglican church. So that was strange. Definitely residual, I would say, off of that piece, but yeah, definitely. That's very coincidental, highly coincidental.
Speaks to the whole items bring their own essence with.
That's why you can't ever say like it seems like it's nonsense, but at the same time it's like,
That was pretty funny.
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Well, this thing seems to be hot and bothered.
Yep.
You belong somewhere
Like
else?
who can use this unless you're 4 feet tall?
I'd like to be a friend. Definitely not an enemy.
See, this would be Craig's ideal job, would be sitting here doing archival things, but mostly just war things, not other things that he's not really that interested.
Although getting paid to do this isn't so bad either.
Well, we're not really getting paid to do this, but that's
Certainly
okay.
are not getting paid to do this.
No. What? Creeks? Yeah, I just heard a big creek there, like right in front of us.
No, it sounded like it came from down there.
Well, yeah, on the second floor, you mean?
Walk backwards.
I just heard the thing.
Yeah. It was the railing.
Yeah,
You didn't touch it. You were going the other way.
I know. I heard the thing down there, like the thing that we took off, move.
Did it fall off?
Did you hear it?
It's not moving.
I heard
Come back.
I heard that.
Yeah, that was weird.
I hope we got that. Because, like, there's nobody down here.
And it's not moving.
And we heard something on the brass go like that. And plus, we heard
sounded like-
creaking on the floor.
No,
Yeah.
it was less than.
It was like this. Like my nails.
yeah.
That's what it was like.
And I heard the whole building creaks, but no one was moving, and I tried to recreate it, but it's not. Go backwards again.
Please come back.
The closest thing that I have.
I was here. You were here.
I was here, so nobody was near the
So
brass.
we were walking this way, and it's not making any noise.
Yeah, and we heard this, what sounds exactly like this.
Like you back.
But it was down there.
Yeah, but I did tell you to back up. So at the same time, you were going the opposite direction of this, and I was here. This.
No. No. And it also wasn't there. It sounded like it was down there.
That's weird.
I know it was weird.
Give it back.
It's all yours, still. Or is there something in the house? There's something in the house that has to be given back.
Maybe they want the house put back the way it used to be. I don't know if it was the bell that's right next to the stairs, because it was definitely something brass.
It's tricky because sound has a tendency to really carry in this building. Working here as long as we have, sometimes we'll hear what sounds like something falling over, and we go and look and we can't find anything because we don't know where the sound came from. It all just kind of carries and echoes. So it could have been something in the basement. It could have been something on the main floor, and it might have just carried. So it might have seemed closer than it was, but it's tricky to tell sometimes.
We tried to redo it. It seemed to sound the same, but I'll be interested to see what you say when you hear it.
So we ask, is it haunted? We weren't entirely sure. It didn't seem really active, but as in many investigations, there are still unexplained phenomena. Some things we caught included a gasp or wheeze of air next to Lindsay while filming, which only showed up in post. A very audible creaking of the floor below us, which we commented on, but it couldn't be heard well on film, followed by a ding sound of something hitting brass. That was completely unexplained. The ghost box did hit a few key phrases, including elderly, asylum, and neo, which were very accurate. There were a few other things we heard on film in post, but we didn't count them because we weren't sure what they were or if it was us. What we included, we were certain about. Please join us again at our next episode, all night at the LaSalle Theater. Thanks very much for joining us, and please like, comment, and subscribe.